Let's try this again. What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're doing well. Before I begin, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, share this out with anybody you know. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm on the road to 400 subscribers, and if you could all help me get there, it would mean a lot to me. And for those of you that have subscribed so far, thank you so much. It means the world to me. So real quick, I also wanted to let you know I did my first live Thursday morning. And I had Uncle Tats from the Pinstripe Chronicles podcast, along with Jason from 161 River Ave, jump on with me. So be sure to check out their channels too. Shout out to those guys. They do amazing work. So please subscribe to them too. They definitely deserve the love and support. All right. So I wanted to talk about the Baltimore Orioles real quick. Okay. So I talked about the Yankees having some issues with their players being hurt, but they're not the only ones. The Orioles are having issues of their own as far as players that are injured. So the first player I want to talk about is right-handed pitcher Kyle Bradish. Now, here's the problem with Kyle Bradish. He is been diagnosed with a UCL injury in his right elbow. He did receive an injection in his right elbow, and he will begin a throwing program tomorrow. But he'll open the season on the injured list. Okay. So it's a blow to the Orioles. All right. He was the clear number one starter. He had a breakout last season. He's only 27 years old. He made 30 starts. He pitched 168 and 2/3 innings with a 2.83 ERA, a 25% strikeout rate, 6.6 walk rate, and a 49.2% ground ball rate. And with the addition of Corbin Burnes, who the Orioles traded for with the Milwaukee Brewers, he was expected to be the number two starter, but that doesn't remain to be the case, unfortunately. So usually with a UCL injury, it does involve some sort of surgery. At least that's what we've seen historically. And it could mean Tommy John. So it's unfortunate. It's sad. You know, injuries do happen in this sport, just like any other sport. It's good. Maybe it's better that the injury happened now rather than later in the season, you know? So, it's an unfortunate thing for the Orioles. We'll see what they do moving forward. All right. Now, the other player that I want to talk about is left-handed pitcher John Means. So he is a month behind the rest of the Orioles starters, and they had to delay his offseason program after he had a flare-up in his elbow in last year's American League Division Series. Okay, so these are two big-name pitchers that are hurt for the Baltimore Orioles. Okay, so we know that on opening day, Corbin Burnes is going to be the number one in the starting rotation, and he'll probably be followed by righty pitchers Grayson Rodriguez and Dean Kramer. And the final two spots are less certain. So there's options. You have righties Tyler Wells and Jonathan Heasley, as well as lefties Cole Irvin and Bruce Zimmerman. Okay. So we'll see how that all plays out. There's definitely going to be some competition during spring training. Maybe the Baltimore Orioles look to trade for a pitcher. There was a report that did come out saying that they were interested in Miami Marlins pitcher Jesus Lazardo. All right. and that could be a perfect match. The Marlins need bats. The Orioles may need some pitching now. Okay. And the Orioles may have players that the Marlins need as far as bats go. And the Orioles are loaded. They are loaded. So they are able to make a trade potentially with the Miami Marlins. And could they sign one of the free agent pitchers in Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery? Maybe. But I don't see that happening, although they are under new ownership, and this new ownership is probably willing to spend, money to make their team better. So, we'll see what happens with that. Now, there are a couple of other names that are hurt, and one of those names is this player right here. This is infielder Gunar Henderson. So he is behind schedule due to an oblique injury, and so he'll need another 2 or 3 weeks of downtime. But the team is not concerned about him missing a lot of time. So does he make it to opening day? We'll see. Does he start after opening day? We'll see. And then their fourth player that's on the injured list as well is their top catching prospect, Samuel Basallo. And he has a stress fracture in his throwing elbow, and he'll be limited to a DH work in camp. So he could begin throwing as late as April. All right. So that's some major news. There's a couple of players that are injured and could possibly face missing time in missing games. So we'll see how the Baltimore Orioles pivot. They have a deep enough talent. They have a lot of good players on their team. I'm sure they'll find a way. They could, again, potentially talk with the Marlins about trading for Jesus Lazardo or maybe one of their other pitchers. All right. Still remains to be seen. So we'll see what happens. But you all tell me what you think of this. Drop the comments. Let's load it up. Tell me what you all think. What do you think the Orioles are going to do next? How do you think they pivot? And will this affect them during the regular season, or will they do well? Do you think they'll finish at the top of the division, or can you see them still easily making it into playoffs as a wild card team? I mean, it remains to be seen. The games haven't been played yet. It's going to be a long season. We'll see how everything plays out. So if any other news drops out, I'll definitely let you know. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, share this out with anyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you all next time.